Hello, greetings. This is me again, Zara Jawad, on YouTube and another channel, Zahra Jawad, Truth Seeker, and Zahra Laila Jawad on Facebook. So sometimes I come there live on live streams publicly. So here we are, and what a history. I was searching for the truth in my religion and also to see how I can reconcile Sunni Muslims and Shia Muslims. They said that this fight of truth and no, between Sunni Muslims and Shia Muslims will carry on. But I kind of went against it and felt that I could do my part in this to reconcile Sunnis and Shias, to show them that wherever the truth lies, that this is not a fight against Sunni and Shia, but truth and lies. So this is how I wanted to. This took me to a search on my religion to explain to the Sunnis if the Shias are right, to explain to the Shias where the Sunnis are right. Like that, reconcile and come under one umbrella, and to say that this is the one Quran, one prophet we have. Let's come under one prophet, mediate between Sunnis and Shias after finding out the truth, wherever I could help and mediate. Because the other person's will has to be involved in mediation, I found that out. So if your will is involved, and if you're willing to come here and listen, you're most welcome. So now this is a case, my case against, well, not forget my case, but case against the authenticity of the Quran. And so if this goes, then everything goes away, falls apart. Islam goes. So if I can prove it. So I'm much grateful, firstly, to those ex-Muslims giving out, imparting knowledge about the Quran and all, Muslim apologists, history, Islamic history, and all. I'm much grateful to them all doing this sincerely, very hard work. And grateful to Ghalib Kamal for the Bani Qurayza tribe videos, and Zafar Heretic. His videos are also really, really good, and they have these subtitles in English. So it's in Urdu, but the subtitles are in English. Zafar Heretic, you can go and see or watch those videos, please. A very great one, very hard work. So my videos are like this, but I'm so grateful to them, and the hard work. I don't have words for it, really. So I'll go with my simple this thing, because of my health and all things. So wherever I can, I'm not, haven't completely overall done my research. Like I just read, for example, Bani Qurayza tribe on Wikipedia, about the Bani Qurayza, and found that it is recorded in Ibn Ishaq's book. So he was a Muslim historian, and then we have dissenting views, and the other Muslims, Sunni Muslims, have called their own historian a liar and all this, lopsided, biased and prejudiced, because he took it from the Jews. So Ibn Ishaq was also not a Shia Muslim. And so this is what has been happening. I found the whole thing on Wikipedia about Bani Qurayza in detail, analysis and all. Thanks to Google search engine and everything that you can find online, internet and all this, Wi-Fi. Okay, so I'll start with the authenticity of the Quran, some ayats that I will give. And I haven't done my full research, so I should have been searching for this one. But just jumping the gun. Please bear with me. So I'll just show you a few ayats which have this contradictions and discrepancies in translations. I hope this would be enough for you to question this, the authenticity of the Quran. And then you can also go through other references I may give, the ex-Muslims on YouTube. You can search for Bani Qurayza and how but you might not be convinced. Sorry, excuse me, I'm just cleaning my nose. So here, like for example, I'll try my best to show you, and then it's for you to see. And let's see. So, yeah, one thing I want to say is that we were very scared. Let me just remind you of that, about the Quran, not using our opinions and whatever. The fear was there that if we say anything against Prophet Muhammad, if we even question him, like it was not in us. Sorry, excuse me, also having my tea. So, and there's some background work going on, noise. Sorry if that will distract you or disturb you in any way, but this must go on. I have to do this. Just a while ago, woke up, and although I don't have much energy, I'll try my best, see where I reach. And this is also whatever I find against my own former religion, Shia Islam, right? This is for that too. So I'll be going through the multilingual Quran, just mentioning what the Fadak case, that the Bibi Fatima Zahra, the Prophet's daughter, was after Abu Bakr had confiscated Fadak from her after her father's death. And so they were after this Fadak land of the Jews that they had, Rasulullah had taken from the Jews. And you know how it was done. You can do your research on that and find out, reading, Google search, Abu Bakr, and also you can do your research by searching. Sorry, I cannot give you everything here and making a little bit difficult for you in my case. So I had the heart to go to Bani Qurayza on Wikipedia and Google search, thanks Wikipedia, and read about it. So this time I've done it. I've done my reading also, apart from the videos, but I couldn't again see the Ghalib Kamal's video on that. And so Zafar Heretics, part 1. Oh, I couldn't even see that. I had to, not completely, like just somewhere in between, just stop the video. I couldn't breathe and it was too much for me. And even His Highness Aga Khan, this ex-Ismaili, Salim Lalani's video, Money and God, on YouTube. Many episodes are there. You can watch that also. So I couldn't hear that too much. I was suffocating and I thought I would die now. It was very difficult for me to breathe. I feel, I don't know about anyone, but I feel I've been, when I find out that someone has died and something a great shock, a deep shock. Something happens to me deeply, it affects me. So I don't know why. Although a truth seeker and wanting justice, so for the sake of justice, I would wanted a few, more days for my life. So I can give this, and if the Shias come here and listen to it, those looking for truth and justice, and not blindly following their religion, I hope I can be of some help to them too. So here we go. That's what we were told. Okay, back to that point where we were so scared. Because you see, we thought from every side, Quran had covered everything about life and all this. And the Quran ayats tell us that. But thanks to the courageous Dr. Abdullah Gondal, and, they have given Abdullah Samir, AP also apostate prophet and all, wherever I got my information from. I thought that was really courageous of Abdullah Gondal, Dr. Abdullah Gondal, I call him, to say that Prophet Muhammad was, not only that Prophet Muhammad was epileptic, and to do that deep research into it, and come with Abdullah Samir most of the times on YouTube. What is it? Goodness. Yes, why I'm speaking about Abdullah Gondal and not the others is because he's a Pakistani origin, right? Living in Canada, I think, or America. And Abdullah Samir, I know for sure, is in Canada. So sorry, I'm forgetting about Dr. Abdullah Gondal, but that whether he is from America or not, or Canada. But he was very courageous to do his, this research against his own religion, and give us the errors in the Quran, scientific, every kind of problematic ayats with discrepancies and all this, like the biological side, the embryology side, and all this, explain about the backbone and the gushing forth of this from the backbone, and wherever it says in the Quran. Sorry, I forget the ayat. Okay, here we have this discrepancy, two ayats that have contradictions. Ali Imran, verse 64, and Surah Tawbah, verse 31. So, this is about worship none but Allah, and do not take, ayat Ali Imran says, do not take anyone as lords besides Allah. Then we come to Surah Tawbah, ayat 31 verse, and it says, what it says is that you cannot take your monks and your rabbis as lords besides Allah and Isa ibn Maryam. So I remember reading this verse, and then I went to Rob Christian, and thank God I found this much from his, got the information, what timing, or maybe one of his live streams came, or no, a video was uploaded that I saw later, or a live stream. So I found out what Rob Christian was saying about this verse, and so that you can take Allah and Isa ibn Maryam as your arbab, the lords, your lords. And there's been a mistranslation about this, and all unanimously have mistranslated, giving commas and making us think that the way God has put it, but trying to correct it and all this. with commas and semicolons. Or, well, see, they couldn't take it because I think of Ayat 31 in Surah Tawbah, or God knows what it was. I really wasn't there. But I can see that when I used to read this verse, I would it would kind of race through my mind that, but I didn't want to accept it to myself. But about Surah Tawbah, I don't know why I had to look at that, uh, you know, and question it. But this ayat, myself, Surah Tawbah 31, verse 31, um, the the translators making a mistake like this. So I wouldn't question the translators at that time, I guess. And whatever the reason was, I really cannot remember now. Correctly, but I'm just guessing that I did see that this was the Quran ayat should not be written like this. So the fear, but I didn't have. But then you'll question me about, you see that Surah Azab ayat. Like I could not question the translation. So I said maybe because everywhere other places were told. So maybe this is the style of God, Allah, to write it like this, and maybe I could. I mean, of course, I'm wrong, but there, it's a very like in Surah Azab, it's something else. Like I wanted to understand, and in Surah Nur, Ayat 33, also, so different reasons. Like no punishment for forced prostitution is mentioned in the later ayats of Surah Nur or before. So, as a female, I was shocked. And in my previous videos, I've given reasons why, and I felt that a different punishment should be meted out. Anyways, I found this ayat where those who, I don't know, like how to put it, but those who do not obey Allah and the Messenger and create mischief in the land, like cut their limbs on the opposite sides. Or exile them from the land, and the other conditions attached. So this ayat has just come in, but I haven't. I don't know where it is. Sorry, in Surah, in the Quran, verse, what number also. So then, to show you, I've already done this, so please look at Surah 9, Surah Tawbah, Ayah 31 verse, and Al Imran verse 64. And the difference, like you can take, there it is imported, it is written like, the communication is imported as if given to us, how do you say it, as if, we can, in Surah Tawbah, that we can take Allah and Isa ibn Maryam as our Lord. So the Sunnis, I felt, and then the Shias also, I felt I could use this point at, when they say that why do you worship Muhammad and call on Ali and all this, right? And the other verse I found, Surah Fat, I didn't find it. I was hiding there until properly it was shown to me by Rob Christian. In one of his live streams, later I saw her videos. What was it? That worship of Muhammad. So that ayat you can see in Surah Fat. Where is it ever written? Gifted. Surah Fat verse 9. Right? And so, okay, and in Surah, look at this now. We have Surah Fat here, And we have another thing, Surah Isra, verse 2. So Surah Isra, verse 46. So I've jotted down some notes here. I'm trying to figure out later on. I just added 2a, Surah Fat, verse 9. So it goes back to number 2. 17 Surah, verse 46. When you mention your Lord alone, they turn in aversion. This part of this surah. Surah Isra, verse 46. You see, when you mention your Lord alone, they turn in aversion. Sunni Muslims have always questioned this about us, our Imam Bargas, and why do we have all this Ali Muhammad? And then there's this ayat I found in Surah Baqarah, the relics of Harun or Musa and angels were, so we can revere and the angels, and so from through that ayat I am reconciling, like showing the Sunni Muslims that the Shias can do this because this is Ali Muhammad's relics and they were sacrificed in, they sacrificed their lives for the truth. Even Imam Hassan, who wasn't in Karbala during the grand sacrifice by Imam Hassan, but his sons were there, or one son we mentioned, Shah Qasim, and all this, and these are the relics, and you can see Surah Baqarah, you can check this ayat. Just opening a very important point here. So, Shias, you have nothing to rejoice, because even your religion is gone. Once you go through this, and the references that I've given you here, it's gone. Bibi, I will show you how. So, Bibi Fatima Zahra and the progeny of Muhammad were evil people and wicked, extremely wicked. And they were greedy after all this. And so I will prove it. I've seen it. So embrace yourself, because it could have killed me yesterday. So I tried to avoid, and I was just going through games like anything, and I'd done my work, like cooked my food, prepared my food and all. So I couldn't listen to the videos. I don't know how I went through Wikipedia for the Bani Qurayza tribe. I skimmed through it, reading through that. So anyhow, so the relics, just a minute. Yes, so here I wanted to give you the verses number. I know it's in Surah Baqarah, but I just want to reconfirm again and again, very scared. Surah Baqarah. See, this is what happens when you read someone else's book and so much about it, that people are killed. So, I mean, my goodness, in such a gruesome way, such a wicked way, I cannot say. So this all they have learned through the Quran, see? And why we Shias don't go killing? Because stay clear of them and this and that. The Quran ayat which says stay clear of them, these hypocrites. We're waiting for our Imam Mahdi to bring justice and establish it on earth. And you can check why the Shias don't kill. But Khomeini against the satanic verses. So I don't know, some Shias could go killing, really. Seize them and wherever you find them. I don't know. But most of the Shias don't. So, verse 248 of Surah Baqarah, the Prophet said to them, the sign of his kingship is that the ark shall come to you carried by the angels, having therein tranquility from your Lord, and the remains of what the house of Musa and the house of Harun had left. Surely in it there is a sign for you, if you are believers. So if you are believers, I understood this as alluding to also Prophet Muhammad's family, and where the ransom. We ransomed you with a grand sacrifice verse in the Quran. I don't know where it is. So we, this ark, the family, you can now make out that, of course, carried by angels, and the signs of Allah are here, and we should not, we should not deny them. Surely in it there is a sign for Allah. So those who also deny the signs of Allah are deviated, right? So there's a verse here which says, so this was for Sunni Shia thing to understand. Anyways, I don't have to go through it in detail here. I'm prepared for this, that the ayats, discrepancies, contradictions, and mistranslations in the Quran ayats of some Quran ayats. Like, for example, again, so I have to be slow so that you get it. So please, you can open the Quran, Surah 9, verse 31, and keep these two ayats together. Surah Al Imran, verse 64. When you mention your Lord alone, they turn in aversion. So, when you mention your Lord alone, they turn in aversion. Surah Isra, verse 46 also. And this verse, and do not, Surah Isra, verse 22. Do not associate with Allah any other God. And about the Lord, so to read the whole verse where it says that do not take any lords besides Allah. In Surah Isra, verse 22. Sorry, I have a correction to make. No, and this one, so I'm a bit confused here. Surah Tawbah and Ali Imran, why did I put verse 64? No. So these, sorry, again, oh my God. Worship none but Allah. Ali Imran, verse 64. Oh, this is number 4. Okay, worship, I'm just reading from my notes here. Worship none but Allah. Ali Imran, verse 64. So, and Surah Tawbah, verse 31. 64. Okay, and 46. Okay, 46 is here when you mention your Lord alone, they turn in aversion. So, but you see, coming to, so I was, sorry, I got a bit confused. I correct myself. So Surah Baqarah verse that I was reading is, these are the signs, and they give you tranquility. The angels have been carrying this ark tabut, like the Sunni Muslims, they object, why do we have this tabut of Bibi Sakina or some, some imam, the coffin, and the remains of what. So in that I got confused, sorry about this. Okay, so we come back here, and now I will check the ayat so that I don't get confused. Surah Tawbah, it says they have taken to themselves as lords, apart from Allah, their doctors and their monks, and Al-Masih, the son of Maryam. This is not how it's put in the ayat. Please have a look at this. This is Dr. Ghali's translation that I was reading out. Ayat 31 of Surah Tawbah. Right? So let me see how it's put. They have taken their rabbis and their monks as lords. Besides again, and this whole phrase covers besides in Arabic, word by word, Quran.com. Besides Allah and the Messiah, son of Maryam. So who is he in the Quran? Isa, son of Maryam, right? See, so and not they were commanded, except that they worship one God and not. So this whole verse, worshipping one God, does not mean, right, if you take it word by word. But the mistranslations and all trying to explain that do not take your monks and your rabbis and Isa al-Masih, or Masih ibn Maryam, all these wrong translations to tell us that, even though God is mentioned in this verse after besides Allah. Do you see this? Besides Allah and Isa, Masih ibn Maryam. Sorry. So Masih, in other words, Isa ibn Maryam. I just want to read word by word here. The Masih, Messiah, son of Maryam, Isa. But what's the point here? The point is that although like this whole translation was wrong, came wrong to us. It's wrong. It's translation of this Quran ayat. And then and do not, and they were not commanded, just in my own words, except that they worship one God. So the Sunnis have also got it wrong, right? And the Shias have also missed this, maybe. We can take Lord as Arbab with God, Isa ibn Maryam, and then what is this? To worship one God. So this I was, sorry, my stomach growling. This I wanted to find out, do more research on, because my translators are wrong, Muslim translators are wrong. And so I found another verse, Ali Imran. So is it verse 64 in Ali Imran? Yes. Tell them, okay, Ahmad Ali, I couldn't find it in Quran.com. I just searched and put it here. Or let's see, Pictel Shakir is there. So say, O followers of the book, come to an equitable proposition between us and you, that we shall not serve any but Allah, and that we shall not associate out with him, and that some of us shall not take others for lords besides Allah. But if they turn back, then say, bear witness that we are Muslims. Yusuf Ali, say, O people of the book, come to common terms as between us and you, that we worship none but Allah, that we associate no partners with him, that we erect not from among ourselves lords and patrons other than Allah. If they turn back, say, yeah, bear witness that we at least are Muslims, bowing to Allah's will. So this is important, right? Lords and patrons other than Allah. What is, this is like a command. Or come to, no, and you that you worship none but Allah, and you that we worship none but Allah, and that we associate no partners with him, and that none of us shall take others as lords besides Allah. Then if they turn away, say, bear witness that we are Muslims. So here we are told, none of us shall take others as lords besides Allah. That's it. And doesn't say Isa ibn Maryam. This it doesn't mention. So what really is the Quran saying to us? The family of Amran, Al-Imran, Surah 3, verse 64. Starts with the Ahmad Ali translation. What site is this? Quran.wwpa.com/page/verse. Okay, so thank you so much. Quran, I don't want to. Quran.wwpa.com. So this point, please check this, contemplate, take time out to see and correct that Surah Tawbah ayat 31. That you can take Allah and and Masih ibn Maryam as your Lord, but you can't take monks and rabbis as your lords. This Quran ayat says. So there have been mistranslations for longest time that I have known. When evil touches them, anything else, they say it's from you. So I said this before, right? There's a verse that everything good comes from Allah, they say, these disbelievers, hypocrites. And that when evil befalls them, they say it is from you, O Prophet. So that this was for, this I gave for what? That they believed in Allah, these disbelievers, as they are called in the Quran. And so I'm not going back to this ayat to recheck it. Do not associate with Allah any other God, worship none but Allah. Al Imran verse 64 and Surah Tawbah verse 31. I already explained. Give to the near of kin. Surah Isra, Shia commentary. So Fadak confiscated. Then thanks to Ghalib Kamal for Bani Qurayza, about Bani Qurayza in detail, and his hard work and his videos, and ex-Muslim Zafar Heretic on YouTube videos again, his videos on Bani Qurayza, and Wikipedia now that I read and skimmed through. So going back to showing my Shias again, how I could, history has been changed. So the authenticity of the Quran is questionable now. You can see from my side, I've explained why. And now we go to the multilingual, where Surah Isra 17, again here, history. So I just stumbled on. So knowing Bani Qurayza, what from Ibn Ishaq that they give, right? They found out Ghalib Kamal and Zafar Heretic, ex-Muslim, YouTubers, channels. So now ex-Muslims, yeah? YouTubers, yeah? So then here, so I was like, after having found this out about the Bani Qurayza and what Rasulullah did to them, although some Muslims, they blame Ibn Ishaq for not writing the true history behind it, and they protect and defend their prophet, I still went further. And like when I was listening to Ghalib Kamal, I was like, how could, again I'm repeating myself, I've mentioned this in my previous video, but just bear with me, right? Maybe we could find another point and something, but I haven't found much more than this, that here the commentary under verse 26 of Surah Isra. But just explaining, like, how could Rasulullah do this with a few Muslims at that time? Islam was new and it was a revolutionary, I felt, very quickly done, right? So spread also. But in the big, like, how could they kill these very high, like Khalid Kamal explains in his YouTube. I'll just have to target mention Khalid Kamal about how these Jews were in Wikipedia, but they had some problems with another tribe or something and all this. But how could Rasulullah win over them? So we think it's the true religion, and that's why Allah helped him, and the angels helped him. Angels were there in the battles you had not seen. There's a verse there in one of the battles, we are told. I don't know if it's Uhud, so I'm not going to say anything about that. Just one of the battles, angels were there helping when the disbelievers were many in majority and all that. So I read about Khandak, my Shia commentary, Imam Ali kills, and what the leader, Jewish leader, warrior was saying. Sorry, the Jewish warrior, great warrior of the Jews was saying at that time in Khandak that Ali, I don't want to kill you. So taking the Shia commentaries, what I saw that, your father was like this, very friendly, and we had many a feasts with him. We enjoyed many a feasts together, to say it correctly in English. Me and your father. So there's the ayat in the Quran which says that this Kaaba, or this house of Allah, or this harami, what they call it, right? This place, sacred house. The sacred house was like everyone is allowed, and where did I find it? Surah Tawbah again? I don't know. But then, but this is the house of Abraham. And so there's a verse put there that everyone used to come there and enjoy it for the residents and those others, for the people. That the sacred house is for the people. So if I can, so I'll miss my point if I forget. So back to what? Back to this commentary section where under some ayat I found Shia commentary in Khandak, in Khandak, Battle of Khandak, 10. So what, especially what this, what happens there, and what these words of Amr, he tells Imam Ali that also that he tells Imam Ali, by God, I do not want to, something like this. I do not want to kill you or see you dead, or the words. So he didn't want to kill him because you are your father was Abu Talib was his friend, Amar's friend, the Jewish. So in length I've spoken about that, I think, some in a previous video. So that just told me something devastating, that the Muslims were the aggressors, that the one I believed in, Imam Ali, was the aggressor. And even in Wikipedia, Ibn Isa points out in this battle against Bani Qurayza, killing actually, what battle? Massacre, that Ali and Zubair were the executioners. Wikipedia tells us. And so there's so much to read, but I'm not going to go there. And then, so slowly building up, like even the Shias, my Shia side, fallen apart. Verse 17, now we come to, from Surah 17, verse 26. And give to the near of kin his due, and to the needy and the wayfarer, and do not squander wastefully. So now, I'll just for now, like this, it sounds very good, very great. To the needy and the wayfarer, and do not squander wastefully. Disclaimer. I can't believe in this now, because what I saw here was like after, Bani Qurayza, that Oh, so it all opened up to me that Bibi Khadija was very rich, and Fatima, and how it's put here, the commentary section, multilingual Quran. You see, opinion about the issue of Fadak. Ibn Musa quoted the above noted tradition. Then Mamun returned the land of Fadak to the children of Bibi Fatima. So they were not leaving this Fadak thing. They were after Fadak. Even when was Mamun Rashid? At the time of Imam Ali Raza, the Shia Ishna Ashari 12 words. 8th Imam, right? Still the 8th Imam there after the Fadak. The land the Jews left behind, the land the Jews left without an heir was distributed by the Holy Prophet. Why did they leave without an heir? Because of the Bani Qurayza thing? I don't know. So see, Anfal here, verse 1. Anyhow, with the consent of the Ansar, among means Anfal is spoils of war, about the spoils of war, how to distribute it, how to distribute your wealth. And we are told that Bibi Fatma Zahra was given this because so that, in Rasulullah's wisdom, that this would be balanced and properly, equitably distributed, and it would reach these, according to this ayat, like the wayfarers also, and to those in want, in need, in want, and the wayfarer, and to the needy. Shakir and Yusuf Ali translation both are here, so I'm reading the words like, but squander not your wealth in the manner of a spendthrift, so that rulers would not squander their wealth. Muslim rulers are not supposed to do it at all. So this would go to Bibi Fatma Zahra, the daughter of the Prophet. And it would be properly distributed and all this, and circulated for years and years. Her children, then the imams, the rightly guided, the rightly, deserved, chosen by Allah after Prophet Muhammad. The children of Fatima would circulate this wealth, and that no caliph, like from the Umayyad side, what they did, and grew in wealth and all this, would be, stopping someone like a caliph, a ruler, Umayyad ruler, or unjust ruler, would just keep his wealth to himself and not properly circulated among the people, and give to the wayfarer, the needy, and just, be squandering the wealth on others. Or himself and his family members, and nepotism, and favoring his family. But so I found out who was really favoring his family. Not Uthman bin Affan, but this very Prophet Muhammad. Garden of Fadak. So, because Hazrat Khadija was a very rich princess, Quraysh princess. So now he had to give this to Fadak to his daughter. So it's written here all, you can go through it. The commentary section, a multilingual Quran, verse 26 of Surah Isra, 17 chapter of the Quran, 17 chapter of the Quran. And the Holy gave Bibi Fatma her due rights, so he gave her the garden of Fadak in fulfillment of her share as a muhajir, and also included his own share in it. During the lifetime of the Holy Prophet, the land of Fadak was in the active possession of Bibi Fatima. I have no disputes with this. But after the departure of the Holy Prophet from this world, the first caliph seized the land, meaning Abu Bakr seized the land. the evidence, and then Ali and Hassan and Hussein, went and evidence, witnesses, and all this. Men are two men. So all this, the Umayyads, I'm reading between the lines. Oh my God, these points, you see? So I just kept quiet when I was, I wouldn't tell the Shias this, right, and myself, but the doubts had crept in. You see why this lady was called. She went to, and she brought these witnesses, Ali, Hassan, her eldest son, and Hussein must be younger, I don't know what age. But Abu Bakr rejected these witnesses. So could Rasulullah have messed up so much? One woman is equal to two. No, sorry, what is that now? I get so confused. The witness thing. One woman is half of a man, right? So two women would be needed to equal one man in a witness, to become a witness to this. So Bibi thought why Abu Bakr was, we say, so cruel. So where is it leading to? Why would they be so cruel with her? Okay, now I'm having a meltdown kind of crisis. My heart could not take it. So, I will take a break. And so last time I was able to read all this commentary, what was important here in my video. So given, uploaded. My case against the authenticity of the Quran. And so Shias also, embrace yourselves, what I see. So witnesses were brought, like Abu Bakr had to, you know what I mean? And he rejected it. So when we read about the witness, two females equal one male in the Quran. So he really messed up Rasulullah, not Abu Bakr. Killing the Bani Qurayza, and then I've come across those ayats in Surah Azab. Although here they give this ayat, right, about the Bani Qurayza. I haven't checked the Surah 80 verses that they've given in Wikipedia about Bani Qurayza, but that, because they were abusing Prophet Muhammad, were they really abusing Prophet Muhammad? Is this verse, they've given another verse that I checked in Surah Azab 23 or 50 something, can't remember. It could be here. I jotted down here. No, so no, I didn't, but maybe I've opened a tab here and I can see. So where is it? Surah, and Surah Azab verse they've given that they abuse. I checked that verse. So, sorry, just looking at this verse. Those who follow the messenger, the unlettered prophet, whom they find mentioned in their own scriptures, in the law and the gospel. For he commands them what is just and forbids them what is evil. Like the comforter, about the comforter in the Bible. Jesus left saying that if I leave, then the comforter will come. He allows them as lawful what is good and pure, and prohibits them from what is bad and impure. He releases them from their heavy burdens and from yokes that are upon them. So it is those who believe in him, believe in him, honor him, help him, and follow the light which is sent down with him. It is they who will prosper. So this light, the books, this is what the Sunnis say. I don't want to comment on that. Say, O people, surely I am the messenger of Allah to you all, of him whose is the kingdom. So you see this, I previously mentioned, so that you people don't say that, you can't say that I haven't looked at the other side of the ayats. I know my Shia Islam. I know the Quran on the other side, great ayats and all this. Otherwise, why would we be so stupid to follow and love this religion and say it's a complete religion? Because the Injil, the previous books were not enough, and this came and we thought this was the best. And the evidence is that those who follow the message, what is written here, so whom they find written down with them in the Torah and the Injil, Shakir translation of verse 157, Surah 7. Surah 7. So, okay, I forgot now to where I was looking for this ayat, right? Where is it? Oh, God, sorry, I cannot, oops, I'll have to, how do I, tab, no, here, okay, lost the ayat and the surah, multilingual, just the main page came, so now where do I have to take you? To that verse, and I forgot it. They have taken the doctors, no, not this one. Multilingual Quran. Okay, sorry, I've forgotten. So it's my mind is a blank now. What I'll do is I'll re-listen to my video, and then come back, see if I can, if it's important enough to finish the point or not. And so another thing is, please remember that this Abu Bakr is not even the Sunni Umayyad. Yes, the Umayyad side, yes, but the pagan idol worshipper that who never left Islam, because he could see and that Rasulullah, what now? Through his eyes I'm seeing, through the pagan idol worshipper's eyes. So this is that Abu Bakr. Please remember that this point is very important. So what the hadiths were coming, and we were saying these Umayyads, they wanted to malign, and his daughter also, and they were hypocrites. So this and that, whatever hypocrites do it, the ayat is there in the Quran about them and the harm they do, and how they become hypocrites. First they say yes and they break the covenant of God, and then their hearts harden, and this is how they become hypocrites. So that is also given in the Quran. I've seen that. So I'm talking about that Abu Bakr, if I may say it properly. Not how the Sunnis take him as a Muslim who was their rightly guided caliph. Okay? Thank you so much. I'll continue later. I need a break now. Hope this is sufficient for you to see and be with the truthful and the just, not like in the way there is a be with the, and what companions are they? So, Quran ayat, be with the pious. Sometimes I pronounce I can't say P properly, so it sounds like bias. Be with the pious, the martyrs, the truthful, the just, and all this. There's a Quran ayat. Also that I'm aware of in the Quran. So let's see how. So I mean to say is that now see, that will make you a little bit inclined towards Islam. Maybe Rasulullah copied, pasted, but it was a mess. If you read about the Bani Qurayza tribe and then go through and see the mistranslations, go through my video, you will hopefully academically, every way, come to the conclusion that Prophet Muhammad was a mass murderer, massacring these Jews for nothing because they said they believed in their God and not Prophet Muhammad's Allah. And the same with the idol worshippers of his time, the Meccan pagan Arabs, saying that they believed in the Allah, but their Allah, not the one Prophet Muhammad has, uh, you know, taken, monopolized. And so they were not hypocrites and they were not believers according to their own beliefs. But whatever they believed in blindly or their books, but this prophet I have to show, you know, how he, at least they were living in peace. So we can get, like, for example, don't know how to say this, from the Quran ayat again, the sacred house was meant for everyone, the citizens there and the people, for all people. So, you know, the Sunni or the Shia Muslims could say that it was meant for all people, Muslims of all, you know, all times, something like that. But actually what I got was that everyone was, the people were invited. Everyone was welcomed. Sorry, not invited, but everyone was welcome and they could have their religion and practice it there. They could be of different religions, beliefs and faiths and come there at the sacred house. And this is what we are told Makkah was. And the Kaaba was for. So people used to bring their gods and or Bibi Maryam, we are told, Bibi Maryam's picture was there, that Rasulullah, it's hearsay, I don't know if it's in a tradition, Sunni, Shia or where, but that Rasulullah covered it and veiled it. Shia told me about this. So then we have this problem. And we have Islam falling apart on us. You see, so, and seeing the mistranslation. So in the end, what I would say is that Prophet Muhammad was a false prophet. And the Quran's authenticity, it has a very, it doesn't have a proper, very frail, it falls apart. It falls apart. Mistranslations and this and that. And maybe, okay, there in Ayat Al Imran, just let me also add this point from Surah Tawbah and Al Imran. I thought maybe the Sunni Muslims have not understood what really this Quran is. Like you can take Lord as Allah and, you know, like Rasul Masih Ibn Maryam. So like for example, we faltered in understanding the ayats. And so the mistranslations and all this. So we can, you know, the Shias are in the right and all this. But no, I went further and thank God, God helped me to find out the truth against this prophet and his Quran. So what other ayats that I could give to tell you, you may, like the Shias may say that, you know, the Sunni Muslims have not understood this Quran properly. And all, so what could I tell you, right? So in another video, take a break because my mind is going blank very quickly. What could I tell you, so through a lot of seeping through and looking at the Umayyad side, like the way I see the translations of all for all people, the sacred houses for all people, the verse there in the Quran, wherever it is, sorry I've forgotten. So, and then seeping through like this from the Quran ayats and all, which then show, and the massacre Surah Ahzab verse 60 to 62, And so all that blame on these Jews and pagan idol worshippers, disbelievers, hypocrites, go back to him, Prophet Muhammad, and this all even. So this is not good for the Shias also. You see, so for example, Surah Azab, he made the adopted son his now close associate and friend and married. So that Quran ayat, you can look at Surah verse 37, like how he says we've made it easy for the mu'mineen now, believers, and the later ones, that now you can marry your adopted sons, divorcees. So now I can see that clever, cunning man, wicked man. The surah from Surah Azab ayat. Then I went forward below the later ayats, and what I found was that massacring, find them. Do you think? I mean, and so the way, yes, you would think as Muslims that hypocrites deserve this punishment. Aisha, Shias would say Aisha deserved this if Rasulullah punched her and it hurt her. It's recorded in the Sunni Hadiths. The Shias take the Sunni Hadiths as well as to see what makes sense. The whole Quran ayats and all the Surah Tahrim, wives annoying him and he seeks to please them. But Shias have missed out too, so I have to tell my Shias also, show them. Do you see how this whole thing and how Rasulullah has made, how this whole thing falls apart, and how Rasulullah put the blame on these Jews and the disbelievers, and the Quran ayats, how well the good ones, how they are put, and so seeping through it. So it's against Shias also. So I wanted to show like something like the greed for Fadak by Fatima, Abu Bakr's case. That Abu Bakr, what the Shias really say, that he was a hypocrite in this religion. Yeah? Pagan idol worshipper still. So this is what, so see the greed that until 8th Imam, Mamun ibn Rashid, that too, or Mamun al-Rashid, that too, son of Harun Rashid, had to, go through the case again, reopen it, and find out from Medina and Makkah, or Medina actually. So it's all written in the commentary section. So the point is that this greed for this fadak. And in the Quran we are told, to give to the wayfarer, near of kin first, and so they would circulate this, but now I don't believe in that Quran ayat, sorry. So this means, what does this mean? That Imam Ali was a very wicked person, and his wife, the daughter of Prophet Muhammad, liars, and how they've made us cry over Imam Hussein, see that as a grand sacrifice. But you can see it if you go through it with those eyes of the truth, leaving Abu Sufyan, not through the eyes of Abu Sufyan, not through, but just seeing the case of Abu Sufyan and Muawiyah, Imam Ali, Rasulullah, and then how this will help you see the truth. So to be on the just side, even if it is against our religion, ourselves, our parents. Again, the verse in the Quran. So could he have copied and pasted and, copied all this from somewhere else? some other, could be. So, and such cleverness and cunningness that he took their thing and used it for himself to make his progeny also. You see, Uthman bin Affan, Shia say, was practiced nepotism, favoring his family members, his close friends, not allowing the wealth to circulate properly, like we are told in this ayat I read before here, to the near of kin, to the needy, the wayfarer, and not to be spendthrifts. But what was, this devastating truth that these are so-called rightly guided caliphs by the Muslims, non-Shias, say to us, what were they saying? They were revealing a devastating truth. Surah Muhammad ayat, Karbala even. You know, when we are told the Holy Family of the Prophet taken, totally subdued. Surah Muhammad ayat, like take them, subdue them, and smite at their necks first, and then subdue them, or before, like, why was Imam Hussein's head, if it was beheaded? So you can read about Bani Qurayza again, and these ayats about smiting. It doesn't it mean attacking these people? Find them wherever you find them, kill them, assaulting them, and massacring them, smiting at their necks, subduing them. So all this. So this is terrible, devastating for those Shias who loved Imam Hussain and thought this was the best truthful religion. And if you say that Prophet Muhammad has given us his progeny, and there's no name of Yazid, no sign of Yazid left, these tyrants, tyrannical rulers, tyrants of their time, at the time of Rasulullah, such hypocrites. Hypocrisy had reached its heights and was spreading like fire among people, disbelievers and all. So, do you not think the Umayyads survived all this? Their progeny, their progeny continued too. We have the Abbasides, caliphs, their progeny also continued. So if you think this is a miracle of God, Shias, that Rasulullah's progeny has continued up till now, we have the progeny of the Umayyads continued up till now, and we have to, until the Abbasides, until the last Imam Mahdi, he's gone into disappearance after Imam Hassan Askari. Imam Hassan Askari's son, after Imam Hassan Askari's death, before that he went into disappearance, occultation. So I will talk in length about that. Let's see if I can find or succinctly explain to you. Isn't Shaitan there forever? Until there is life and the progeny of Shaitan. Maybe I can find a verse in the Quran saying that they will be there until the end of time. And then God will see to it, even his progeny. So this is a battle against good and evil, and they both have survived, the progeny of evil and the progeny of good. And so it's no surprise, it's no miracle that this wicked man's and such a wicked man, I don't have words for him. Prophet Muhammad and his progeny survived. So such a wicked progeny that I have no words for it. Them. Okay, thank you. I will continue later.